Who goes there? Ah, my small friend, it is good to see you again. It has been quite a while now, though that is because of my own absence. But I was looking forward to your next visit on my return. Come in, come sit with me. I even have some cushions prepared for you this time. Where did I get them? You remember I said the caretaker comes to see me. I asked him to bring some. But anyway, do make yourself comfortable. I apologize for my long absence. When the Council of Elders convenes, it can rather drag on longer than intended. Especially when the topics of discussion are long themselves. Oh, but why am I boring you with such dull matters? I am sure you do not wish to hear about. Oh, you would like to know? Well, I suppose there's no harm in talking about it. We were hosting a delegation from the East, you see, representing the ancient imperial dragon family. Unlike in these lands, dragons have always been revered there, worshipped even. I was expecting them to be rather high and mighty about it, but, well, they were surprisingly, I wouldn't say humble, but polite, I suppose. Respectful. Respect is of great importance to them, both between individuals and between the species. They showed good manners even when my fellow dragons did not. There was also a young dragon in attendance. She was there because she's a rare mixture of Eastern and Western, and there were some unsettled matters about her heritage, as I understand it. But I shouldn't say any more than that. It's her own business. I have seen her before, though, some years ago, when she pleaded the case for letting dragons live among humans. Back then she seemed a little nervous, but she spoke from the heart. I was impressed by that. This time she had more confidence. I can see great things in her future, when she is ready for them. As of now, I believe she is content to live a more ordinary life with her partner, but I can respect that choice. We all need time to find ourselves, and to be ourselves once we do find out who we are. She was not the only reason for the long delegation's visit, though. They wish to encourage a cultural exchange, as they have seen the good it has done between dragons and other species here. So, Long will be allowed to travel here to learn from us, and dragons from the west will be allowed to travel out to the east to learn from them. All with the proper paperwork, of course. I can think of a few young dragons who will be excited by the prospect. What else does the council do? Well, argue mostly. But as for what we are supposed to do, it's really not very interesting. Things like settling clan territory disputes, negotiating between dragons and other species. You see, I think I have mentioned before, but there are a number of different dragon clans across the continent. Are you really sure you want to hear about all this? Well, the clans traditionally live in somewhat isolated regions. There are island clans, like the one from Graethmyr. There are mountain clans, like the Graethmyr clan of the Bavarian Alps. There are also clans who are still nomadic, following migratory herds of reindeer in the far north. These clans managed to survive in the dark times by staying isolated away from the reach of dragon hunters. Of course, all that time separated has made the clans somewhat territorial towards each other, so it was vital to have some kind of way to settle disputes over borders, hunting grounds, and that sort of thing, as well as deciding how best to protect dragonkind as a whole from those who wish to harm us. The council itself is made up of ancient dragons from each clan, and a few independents like myself who are without a clan of our own. I'm sure I mentioned before, but I've been around since long before the clans formed. I suppose that makes me an ancient among ancients. So, I and my fellow clanless act as mediators when the clan ancients cannot agree, which between you and me is any time at all. As dragons began to spread our wings again, both figuratively and literally, the council's role evolved, collaborating with the clan chiefs to negotiate dragon flight paths with human society, cave passage with the dwarves, that sort of thing. And then, much more recently, making it so young dragons might live among other species in the hopes that our society may integrate and foster greater understanding. Of course, not all the council were in favor of that, but I rather liked the idea, and enough of the others were convinced in the end to allow it. It took even more work to convince the humans. I think altogether it was nearly a decade of work, but in the end you've seen the results for yourself. Things seem to have worked out for the best, I feel. I'm sure there will be other difficulties along the way, but what's the human turn of phrase? We shall cross that bridge when we come to it. I have never needed to worry about bridges myself. Wings make that somewhat redundant, but I understand the intention of the idiom. I'm sure interspecies integration will be the subject of many more meetings in the future. On that note, we may be having a few long coming along as a trial group. That should be interesting, however it goes. Anyway, all the discussion, the travel, and being away from the spring for so long have left me rather tired. I am certainly glad to be home. Oh, no, do not worry, you are not bothering me. Quite the opposite. It has been good to see you again. Why, you're practically part of what makes this home now. I meant it when I said I look forward to your visits. Come lay against my side and rest with me, won't you? Ah, that's better. But I have spoken at length and not asked about you. What have you been up to in my absence? You've been seeing other dragons. I am shocked. No, that's good. I am glad there are more young dragons coming here. And classes, you say? Interesting. I do recall some mention of some educational campaign. What are they calling it? Monster Hugger. Who came up with that? You know, I rather like it. Oh, I am not too bothered about the word monster. Don't you have that children's puppet show? It makes monsters look cute and fuzzy. How do I know about that? Oh, I just heard mention of it from a young dragon. Apparently, he learnt English from watching it. Maybe you should be teaching a class. You've already got experience with me, All right, I know there is more to it than that. In all seriousness, that's good to know. I see it as years of work coming to fruition. Well, yes, fostering greater understanding between different species. I think it can only lead to good things. If we can understand each other better, we can live together peacefully, and we can all have greater freedom as a result. Yes, the freedom to live without threat, without discrimination, and the freedom one day, I hope, to wander the skies once again. If we can spread that spirit of understanding through all the lands of the world, then it will one day open the world to all, don't you agree? It might be a foolish hope. I have seen times of peace fall to war many times over my life, but I suppose living so long has also made me realize the importance of hope, and of working towards making things better. But I apologize, I interrupted. As you were saying... I see. You have been busy too, it seems. Then I am especially glad you could take time to visit me. Well, of course I appreciate it. I found I've rather missed your company while I was gone. You are open, a good listener. Sometimes you look at me almost as if you were an attentive child enthralled by your old grandfather's stories. I am sorry, I mean no disrespect by that. Only that you always seem eager to listen. It's adorable. I mean charming. Really. Oh, now you're turning quite red. I didn't mean to cause you embarrassment. Do forgive an old dragon. That trip really has taken a toll on me. Are you comfortable there? Good. I really must not spend so long away again. But I shall feel restored after a little rest. There, let me tuck my wing around you. And just rest there, safe with me. Let us rest. In the morning, I shall quench my thirst from the spring, and I'm sure I will feel myself again. Stay with me, won't you? Thank you, my friend. Rest well.